will tell you today what you can do to improve your current career plans, to take control of your career, and to do that not just in your home country, but also by coming to New Zealand. Very, very easy and smooth pathways to use the MBA, to get work, to get residence, to live in New Zealand and make a contribution in a country that has a very low unemployment rate. It has no poisonous snakes. It has lots of sheep, but it has also a good economy, something that is buoying you up into a career that for many of you will be a great addition to what you have done so far. The reason why you're here is that there is a little voice in your head, or it's your parents talking, or your boyfriend, girlfriend, and family, that will tell you that you need to do something. And sometimes the career options at home are somewhat limited, and you look to do something greater and bigger. And we have a fabulous team here today to walk you through what your choices are and talk about changing. I'll change over to Mandy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is fantastic that you are here with us this evening. And you can see here some of the things that Massey is really well known for. There is some flexibility in your learning. It is absolutely practical learning. It is not the academic hierarchy learning. It is all about how you can apply that in your work environment. And you are going to connect with people, not just the people in your class, not just the practitioner academics that we have. That means people who are involved in the business that they're teaching you about, but also business leaders within New Zealand and overseas. And we have globally recognised qualifications, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But the most important thing for you to know is that Massey is in the top 2% of universities in the world. So you can be guaranteed of some quality with us. And the other thing that Massey is really well known for is that we like to partner with you as you learn. So we care about what happens to you. We care about you when you come to New Zealand and study with us. We care that you are successful. If you work hard, we will partner with you to make you successful through your study. Okay, on the next slide, this is some of the things that you're going to get from us. So capability, capacity, confidence, connections, and courage. And in plain English, that means you will know more. You will be able to do more. You will be able to try new things and have the confidence to do those. And you'll be able to interact and relate with people from a variety of different cultures better. And you'll just have the courage to go out and do it. Apply for those jobs that you didn't think that you were going to be able to apply for because of the knowledge and the confidence that we are going to give you. We are going to give you new tools and new confidence to go out there and start new roles. Most people who study with us are specialists. You're an IT person, you're an HR person, you're a marketing person, you're an engineer. And an MBA is all about broadening your knowledge so that when you go for those higher jobs, they say, "What you're an IT specialist, what do you know about HR?" And you're going to say, "Actually, I have an MBA. I have covered all of those topics," and you are going to be able to start applying for those kind of jobs. On the next slide, we're going to actually talk about the quality stamp. Oh, no, we're not. I've got an extra slide. Here we go. These are also our promises to you. So we have learning outcomes for the program. And these are what they are. These are the things that you are going to be able to do by the time you have finished. Strategically think, lead with integrity. You're going to be able to solve problems and look at and analyze those problems and then find a solution. You're obviously going to be technology savvy and the cultural competence, not just with the people that you've been working with, but also you're going to learn about the New Zealand work environment and how, if you want to continue working in New Zealand, we can help you with that. Okay, on the next slide, we are now going to talk about our accreditations. These are our quality stamps. So AACSB is an elite American business school accreditation. So if you want to go and work in the United States or any of those countries that look at the United States for qualifications, this is a stamp of quality. AMBA is the Association of MBA. That is a worldwide accreditation agency. Now, both of those, we have the highest or the longest qualification period that you can have. So again, they're very confident in what we teach, how we teach, and the outcomes. All right, on the next slide, we're looking here at some of the rankings. So most of you will know what QS is. They look at the top 1,000 universities in the world, and we don't have any academics in our school here. What we do is we look for academics within Massey Business School, and we take them from communications, and they're in the top 100. We take them from accounting and finance, and they're in the top 200. And we take them from business management, which is in the top 300. CEO magazine also ranks programs, and we are tier 1 for all of our programs, and we are number 17 for our online. In Shanghai, we are the highest ranked business administration program in New Zealand, number 1. Excellent. All right. On the next one, what do our programs look like? So tonight we are going to just focus on the MBA. So the MBA is one program taught in 2 different ways. One is full-time and one is online. Now the full-time is really immersive and intensive because you finish in 1 year, just 12 months of study, and you can have your MBA. You come into class on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but only between 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So you're going to have time to work while you are studying full time. The number of hours that you'll spend in class is 12 hours. And the classes are held in Albany, which is in Auckland, the largest city in New Zealand. Lots of opportunity for working, and lots of opportunity for you to interact with other people, business people, and other people in classes that we have here, MBA classes. The specializations, we have specializations, and Ditha will talk about those in a moment. The really cool thing is the work experience we're going to give you. You're going to walk away with a reference from businesses after you have finished your MBA with us. MBA online is 100% online. You never have to come into class, incredibly flexible. 2 hours a week is the class time. You can study anywhere in the world. It can take 18 months up to 5 years. So again, you can pop in and out of those. Tons of flexibility. We're still going to have lots of networking, so you're not going to miss out on that networking. And the material is available 24/7. So it doesn't, if you are on the bus on the way to work, on the train, you can look on your device and you can still do bits and pieces of work. Each of our classes are only 7 weeks long. So it's intensive, but you're then done and dusted. You're then finished, and then you move on to the next one. All right. The Executive MBA is at the EMBA, which is the Executive MBA, is also available to international students. But that is a weekend class. You come in every 6th weekend. It's in only in Auckland. One is in our campus here in Albany, and the other is at Auckland Airport for people who fly in and out. It does take longer to complete, which is why we're not going to concentrate on that tonight. It's about 20 months for you to finish. We have a global tour, we do board experience, we do lots of governance and strategy. Great program, but the MBA full-time is more tailored to our international students. But if you are interested in that, then please speak to us. And I'm now going to hand over to my fantastic colleague Ditha, and she's going to run you through what the program actually looks like.
Thank you so much, Mandy. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see so many faces here this evening. So I'm going to talk to you specifically about the MBA program. So this is the program for you if you're looking to take that next step in your career. If you're looking to go up to a managerial level, a senior manager, mid-level manager, even to own your own business, or to have that flexible learning option while you are studying while you are working as well. Because the MBA is a generalist program, it gives you that knowledge about the different business areas, allowing you to make confident decisions in your role and for your organization. So that's really what employers are looking for today, someone who can really understand the overall business and to be able to make those confident decisions. Again, something that Mandy was talking about earlier is that capability and confidence to be able to make decisions and to work well in your role and for your organization. So really, the MBA opens up a whole new avenue and so many different paths for you to go ahead with in your career. And on the next slide, we're going to talk to you a little bit about what you're going to be seeing in the class with you. So just to repeat what we have been saying, the full-time MBA, so the full-time in-person MBA is a 1-year program. The part-time online MBA can take you somewhere between 18 to 24 months, but you have up to 5 years. This is a program that you can do from your hometown as well. You don't need to be here in New Zealand. So let me talk to you a little bit about who's going to be in the class with you. We've got a fantastic group of classes, of cohorts that have passed through the program already and who are also currently studying with us. So a typical MBA class is usually about 20 to 35 students. There is an equal split in gender. There's an average age of about 37 years and about average work experience of about 11 years. We're also extremely proud of our alumni who have just recently graduated the MBA program, and they've given us some excellent numbers that we're happy to share with you today. So what we can see here is the return on investment that we've received. So they've 62% of our students have improved roles while doing their MBA study with us. 23% have moved to senior management roles and 46% have moved to managerial roles, again, while they're doing their study with us. And on the next slide, we're going to look at the 10 papers or courses that you need to do as part of this program. You've got your 6 core courses, which gives you the understanding of the overall business. And this MBA at Massey University is the only MBA in New Zealand that gives you the opportunity to specialize in a business area. So along with that generalist MBA, you also get this opportunity to really look into a specific business area and gain some very niche knowledge in that area. Your options as a full-time in-person MBA student would be to specialize either in business sustainability or global business, and as an online student would be digital transformation or global business. You then move into part 2 of the program that's extremely applied. It really gives you that opportunity to pull from the knowledge that you've learned from your first 8 courses into putting that into the market. So really looking at real world business problems and testing out various scenarios and various solutions that can work. Really finding your way in the New Zealand market. You also get an opportunity to meet with and interact with people from the market who are in influential roles and to really grow your network. Again, something that Mandy was talking to you was networking and being able to grow and meet people in the New Zealand market really increases your employability as well. And we've got 3 intakes a year, March, July, and November for the full-time 1-year MBA. And on the next slide, I'm going to talk to you about the online MBA. So the online MBA is much more flexible. It gives you an opportunity to do your studies at your pace while you're while you're working full-time. And you can do this from your own home, in your own home country. There's small tutorial sessions up to about 2 hours per week that you have with the online MBA. And you also have 3 intakes, March, July, and November for the online MBA. So on the next slide, I'm going to talk to you, or I'm going to allow you to read some of the testimonials that our alumni have given us. With the MBA full-time, it is 56,300 New Zealand dollars. Now, this includes your study material, that's all of your ebooks, your journal articles, your non-tuition fees, which includes all of the support and the resources that we have at our libraries, and it includes your health insurance as well for your study period. As an online student who's offshore, your fees would be 48,800 New Zealand dollars for the MBA online program. Now, while you're investing in your future, we invest in your future as well. And on the next slide, we can have a look at the awards that we have available to you. Now, those 3 MBA awards that you see at the top are assessed automatically at the time of your application. And we let you know when your application has been assessed if you've been able to get these awards. There are 3 in total. One is for a high GPA in your bachelor's. One is if you've got 5+ years of work experience. And the third is if you've got a previous master's degree. And this is accumulative. So you can get up to 6,000 New Zealand dollars adjusted against your fees. Gurpreet has been kind enough to join us this evening, even though he's got class tomorrow. He's been able to join us this evening to talk to you about his journey so far.
A little bit about myself. I am a science graduate in physics, and I am from India. I do call South Korea my second home, though. I have a wife and daughter, and I have 17 years of experience working on a cruise ship as an entertainment director. Now, as a science student, my option would be clearly going for a master's in science as a marine engineer or somewhere along the lines. But I chose MBA because I do not want to get stuck to that funnel of only one. And I can tell a little bit more about that shortly as well. I got here about 25 days ago. I started putting MBA on my LinkedIn as an MBA student. And within 7 days, I have my part-time job. Not just any job. I actually got myself into a key account manager, which was great, which was such a great opportunity for me to start off as a manager and make my way up. One of the best things I really enjoyed that was the moment we were planning, my family was coming down to New Zealand like a month ago. We were asked, okay, guys, this is how you're going to take the transportation. This is where the university is. This is how you're going to do it. So everything was well planned, well structured. So that was amazing again. The programs, the courses actually right now is designed, they flow very well. I started off with leadership courses. That was the first course, which actually started you a bit slowly to get you familiarized with how things goes. And then it goes with the different courses. A lot of things when I studied, it was very academic. This is not academic, this is hands-on. We're actually doing the course right now, which is a global business with Dr. Yan right now. And I can tell you, we have guest speakers. We have people taking time coming down to tell us about their businesses. What I mean to say is like, I'm a bit strong. I have more confidence in the presentation. I can speak better now. Almost there, almost there. Waiting for July to come so I can jump on and get my degree from there.
Thank you, Gurpreet. That was really nicely put. Thank you so much for giving us that brief about your journey. For now, we're just going to move on to hear from our academic. Professor Jens Mueller also teaches on the MBA. He teaches the Global Business Specialization as well as the work experience course, the Action Learning Project. Thank you so much for being here, Jens. Over to you.
Well, thank you very much, all of you. And thank you, Gurpreet, for having all the energy after we spent some hours in class today. Most of you will be people who have not recently been at university, who have maybe never been at university, who had good careers, and you're now coming to the point where you're seeing people with a lot less work experience than you pass you by on the way to better jobs because they have an MBA or another high-end qualification. And that really upsets you, your family, your parents. You really don't get where you want to go because you have all the knowledge. You have to look the part. You have to make it easy for recruiters, for boards, for general managers, for CEOs to pick you, and they are risk adverse. They don't want to be caught 5 years down the track if you don't work out with how could you have hired that person that didn't even have a high degree in MBA, something in business that makes you impressive. So we designed this course for practitioners. This is not a research MBA. If you want to do research, we have a zillion other courses for you, but this one is not it. This is designed that when you're in class, you don't feel like students sitting in front of a professor. You feel like a management team in the boardroom talking with your board chair. It is very practical. It brings in leaders from around the country and internationally to guest speak. We have 15 guest speakers in the global business course that Gurpreet talked about. Those are all VIPs that you normally wouldn't meet that come to talk to you. Great for name dropping, great for help with your job search, and also great to learn from. So this is intended to set you up for a fast transition into a better career. Now you have two choices. You can either stay at home, do this by online, never come to New Zealand. Then of course you don't get to live and work in New Zealand, but you would then use this as a very effective stepping stone in your home country. Or I would assume most of you are thinking, well, if this gets me into New Zealand with permanent residence and in a nice country, that's probably a good way to go. And it is a good way to go. We have new immigration instructions that kick in mid-next year that all of you that start, I guess, next February would be caught by, and that is an instruction that says you need 6 points for residence, 5 points you get with an MBA, 1 point you get for 1 year of work. That's it. New Zealand is kind of boring. You know, in Canada, you have quotas. In the UK, you have Brexit drama. In the US, the green cards don't work anymore. Australia has all the poisonous things that kill you, but they also make it easy for work and study, but it's virtually impossible to get residence. New Zealand says, let's make work easy, but let's focus on residence. And you would be exactly the target group that ends up getting residence very quickly in New Zealand, 1 year of skilled work after you finish your studies. And the studies are only 1 year, a 180 credit level 9 qualification, and you can apply for residence. It doesn't go faster anywhere. It doesn't go smoother. It is a very, very swift pathway. During your studies, you will have practical work experience, managerial work experience that we set up for you. Your last project, the university finds for you places where you can do 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on the project work experience. That gets you a letter of reference. It also shows people that you can work in New Zealand, and quite often these part-time jobs will turn into full-time jobs because people see you, they like you, they hire you. New Zealand currently has an unemployment rate of just over 3%. That means we are dying out, we're screaming out, we want people. 3% is more than full employment. It's unsustainable, we're short. And that's partly because we were closed for 2 years during COVID and didn't get people coming in. You come into a country right now where the economy is screaming out to hire people, where the immigration system welcomes you, makes it really easy to get here, and you therefore have great choices to take control of your career. On top of that, New Zealand is an easy country to live in. 25% of everyone in the country is born in a foreign country. 25%. If you took India with 1.2 billion people and you wanted to have 25% foreigners there, you would have to have every US American live in India. And that wouldn't work out well, would it? In New Zealand, 25% works out great. We have no dramas. We have no unrest. We don't have the Sri Lanka thing. We are easygoing. It's a high-income country, high lifestyle, superb services in the country. The government pays for all of your medicine. Government pays for your healthcare. Government pays for superb schooling, and you do not have to be in a private school for your children. It is a great place to live. It is even better because you're not just coming as a worker. Dubai, you can work forever, but the moment the work stops, you have to leave. In New Zealand, 1 year of work after your MBA, and you can apply for residence. And we're the only MBA that has a licensed immigration advisor on staff. We designed this program to be perfectly in line with immigration rules. and it is therefore exactly the program that you need to take care of your career and move it ahead, and also show your parents, show your family that the work that you've done at home now amounts to something that you can translate into a global MBA, high qualification, living and working in New Zealand. On that happy note, I'm turning it back to Mandy.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is the support that you're going to get while you're here. Some of you may be a little bit worried about, what it's like. We've already talked about how that transition from not having studied for a while can be a little bit daunting. But we have amazing support here at Massey, not just from the university, but from our team here in the MBA office. Three of the things that I'd like to talk to you about. The first one is the Centre for Learning Success. They are an amazing group of people who will support you. One of the great services that they have is that you can actually put your assessment in to the Centre for Learning Success. They will critique it, they will go through it, they will send it back to you. You can make those changes that they suggest, and then you can put it in for a grade. It's a fantastic service, especially when you first start learning how to get back into the rhythm and routine of study. The other two things I'd like to talk to you about, one is the Mental Gym. That's a program for our MBA and executive MBA students. You can join that before you actually enroll and come on board with us or start your learning with us. Our next one is the 16th of November, and it's called Empower Talent in Business. So you can come and listen to one of our practitioner academics for 45 minutes and hear what they have to say. They'll interact with you. You'll learn about how our learning style is. The one after that may be even more interesting for you because it's the 30th of November at 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time, and it's career development advice. So we help our students to actually get those better roles and better jobs. So those are some of the things we do for you. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the Career Accelerator. So that is just for our current students, and we help you to prepare yourself for that better job. So sometimes people forget that they have a personal brand and that they need to portray that brand. So what do you look like online? Are you moving your online persona as you start going through the MBA, adding those things that you're learning as you start to move through that? So we have lots to offer. I mean, you've got the wonderful Ditha to help you all the way through, but all of us are here to help you. Right. If you are ready to enroll, and these are the types of things we need, very standard. We've got an application questions, which we will send you. Engage with us and we can help you with that. Once we choose you, so once you've been through that application process, we know you can be successful. We know you can finish, and we know that you can then move on to better roles because we do select people. It's not an open, you can't just apply and everyone gets in. We are going to select you to come and join us.
Thank you, Mandy. We've got a few questions here about the visa. And like Jens said, we've got our very own visa immigration advisor here. So Jens, could you talk to us a little bit about student visas as well as dependent visas on student visas, please?
All right. This is very, very easy. In order to get a student visa to study the MBA at Massey, you need an IELTS 6.5, no band under 6. You need a bachelor degree with very long years of work experience. We might be able to work around that. You need a CV, and you then get an offer of place from the university. We interview you. We make sure you fit in. With the offer of place, you apply for a student visa. We can direct you to licensed immigration advisors if you want somebody to help you with that. Not everybody wants to do it themselves. You then apply for your student visa. It takes probably about, just right now, about 7 to 10 weeks roughly to get a student visa. You can bring your partner and your children with you. Your partner will get an open work visa while you study for the same length as your study visa. And that 20-hour time that you have to study, you get paid you can work You get paid at least $25 per hour for the 20 hours a week. So between a partner working full-time and you working 20 hours, you should be able to cover your living costs quite well. And your children are then domestic fee-paying students. That means they pay nothing. Domestic students don't pay anything. So you then go through the MBA, you do your 1-year MBA course, you make good connections, you work, you probably have a job offer lined up before you finish. That's my expectation of you. And you would then be able to apply for a post-study work visa, 3 years of open work visa after you finish your MBA, and your partner, if you have one, gets the same 3-year open work visa. So you now have a work visa that allows you to work anywhere, to start your own business, to not work, whatever you like to do. 1 year of skilled work in New Zealand, and you can then apply for residence. New rules coming into effect 1st of July, much easier than the past rules, and absolutely a program that is very, very easy for you to decide, do you want to just work here or do you want to have residence? If you want residence, you apply for it. Takes about a year for the application to run through. In the meantime, you have an open work visa and work. If you just want to come and work for the 3 years of your post-study work visa and then go home, absolutely no problem. Once you are a resident in New Zealand, after 2 years, you can apply for permanent residency. That means you don't have to live here and you still have residency that they can never take away. So New Zealand is a very visa-friendly country. We are absolutely in need of people, and the government has prioritized highly valuable, educated people. And look, they looked at you, and I look at the pictures right now, and it scares me a little bit because some of the pictures are, oh, they're pretty crazy. But you are valuable people for New Zealand. And that means that with only 1 year of work after your MBA, you get your residence. You have to do a skilled job after you finish. That's why you want a university qualification, high end. We run the largest MBA program in the country. We have hundreds of students in the program every year. Many universities combined wouldn't do what we do. We've done this for 75 years. We have the oldest MBA program. Business knows us. Business leaders know us. They come to work with us as guest speakers. They want to see our students and graduates. You will have very little problems finding a skilled job, 1 year plus MBA equals residence.
And there's also a question here about the ratio of students to lecturers, and a typical MBA class is somewhere between 25 to 30 students. And of course, we do bring in more guest lecturers as well. So you do have lots of people coming in to share their insights that also then adds up to the number of lecturers or the people that you're gaining your knowledge from. There's also a question here about age limits in the market, in the New Zealand market. So Mandy and Jens, again, would you be able to help us with that one, please?
I think it's more to do with skill base. You know, what's your experience? What's your skill base? What can you offer an organisation? It is, I think once you get to 60, you know, you're going to have to start working harder, but people are highly skilled by the time you get to that age. You know, you just have to actually work at trying to look for opportunities. And one thing about the MBA, you will get connections with people who are here. And so we're going to help you to learn how to do that too, how you actually work with the resources that you have.
There are questions here about assessments, and we've got Jens here, of course, who's our academic. So Jens, would you be able to talk to us a little bit about the assessments on the MBA, please?
Oh, I'm happy to talk about assessments because every professor loves assessments, except that ours are different. You probably had university teaching where they sent you into a room with a pencil and a pad of paper, and 2 hours later they turned the lights on and made you come back out, and then they look what you remembered. That's not what we do. We have no exams in this program at all. We only do practical assessments throughout a course, always within the course. So the course ends about 10 days after the lectures and you're all done and dusted. You don't wait for a long time. And the assessments are either group assessments where you work as a consulting team, or they are reflective exercises, putting yourself into the role of a CEO and talking about what challenges you might have. They are practical. very manageable in terms of time, not requiring research knowledge. And look, I've done this for 38 years, and I can, on the fingers of both hands, count the number of people who did not pass a program like this academically. You have to work harder on failing than on passing. If you do what we tell you to do, you will have the MBA because you are selected. You cannot just apply. You have to be accepted into the program. We only accept 1 out of about 3.5 applicants. So we carefully structure this program. It is always full because it is the fastest program in New Zealand to meet all the immigration requirements, to get work experience, to get specializations. So for instance, if you already have an MBA or a master's in business, you can still do this MBA because no one else offers the specializations, and therefore it is a new qualification, and Immigration New Zealand accepts that.
We've also got some questions here about living costs, and I was wondering if Jens, you would be able to help us with that one.
Yeah, first of all, the requirement for your visa application is that in addition to the tuition fee, you have to show $20,000 New Zealand for living costs. However, you do not have to bring all of that money usually, because if you earn the $25 per hour minimum wage or more for the 20 hours you are allowed to work per week, that goes a long way to cover your rent, your transportation, your food, unless you eat a lot. And you most likely will be able to, with that part-time work, cover your living costs quite well.
Thank you so much, Jens. I do see some questions coming in about the online MBA and the need to be working part-time or the connection to your visa. So just want to reiterate, the online MBA is a program you can do from your home country. You do not get a visa to study in New Zealand while doing the online MBA. You would need to do the full-time in-person 1-year MBA for you to be able to apply for a visa and study here in New Zealand for the duration of that program. For now, I'm just going to hand it over back to Jens for a formal close, please.
Well, tēnā katoa, thank you all for joining us. What we were trying to do is lay out to you that it is actually quite easy for you to take charge of your career, to move that to a much higher level with a globally highly ranked MBA, and then having choices of where you base yourself for your career, whether it is New Zealand, whether it is back home or a third country. Most of the students that we see are students who come from a narrow-banded technical, health, IT, accounting, specialist degree path, who have decided that they want to have more choices and options for work, for career choices, to move up in management, and they need a generalist degree. That is the MBA. And this MBA is designed mainly for international students with all of the features you need to get employment easily in New Zealand and then get residence. Thank you very much to my colleagues who have pretty much burned the midnight oil here. It's past midnight in New Zealand, so they probably have a very cozy pillow waiting somewhere, or a glass of wine or a hot toddy. We thank you all for joining. Good night.